Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to grab a stack of source material, jump in, and pull out the essential knowledge you need to get informed quickly, maybe find a few surprises.
Yeah, and today we're looking into entertainment news, specifically something recent involving Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni.
Right. And our source for this deep dive is a report from Global News. We're drawing on their video description, some text they put out around June 3rd, 2025.
And our mission, well, it's pretty straightforward. Unpack what this specific report says about what it actually calls a surprising legal development. See what takeaway this source gives us.
And the core news seems to be Blake Lively dropping some claims. Okay, let's get into this. So, jumping right into it, this Global News report, June 3rd, 2025. The headline news, really, for these two is that Blake Lively has dropped claims against Justin Baldoni.
That's the main event here. And the source is quite specific about the type of claims dropped. It mentions claims of infliction of emotional distress.
Infliction of emotional distress. Okay. For someone maybe not super familiar with legal jargon, what does that generally kind of mean?
Well, in simple terms, it's a legal claim where someone says basically that another person's actions cause them really severe emotional suffering. It's different from, say, physical harm or losing money. It's focused squarely on the psychological side.
Got it. Okay. So emotional harm claims. And the source reporting this, they actually used the word surprising to describe Blake Lively's decision here. That word kind of grabs you, right? Like, why surprising?
Exactly. The source really flags that angle, the surprise factor. What's also interesting is that the report gives us a bit of context about where this news appeared in their broadcast. It mentions someone named Morgan joined a segment, I think it was called First in the Morning with Entertainment.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, to break down this specific Lively-Baldoni story.
So coming from a specific news show, and the source actually tells us a little about what else was in that segment on June 3rd.
It does, yeah. The report notes the segment also covered things like Brooklyn Beckham hiring a lawyer, some ongoing family tensions there, and also a celebration of Chorus Quay, something about upfronts. It just helps paint a picture, you know.
Yeah.
Shows the kind of general entertainment news this item was.
Blake Lively drops the specific claims infliction of emotional distress against Justin Baldoni. The source called the move surprising, and it came up in this entertainment news segment alongside other celebrity and industry bits. So, based only on this report, what's the main thing we should really understand from it?
Well, the key takeaway from this source, specifically, is exactly what it highlights. The fact that these claims were dropped, and crucially, that the news outlet characterized it as surprising.
Right.
The source really focuses on the event itself and its unexpected nature. It doesn't really give us the background on the original dispute or, the reasons why she might have dropped the claims.
So the insight here isn't really about the nuts and bolts of their disagreement or the logic behind the decision. It's more about how the decision was reported. The surprising label itself is the news, in a way.
Precisely. That's what this source tells us. That on June 3rd, 2025, in the entertainment news world, this particular legal step between Lively and Baldoni dropping the emotional distress claims was considered, well, newsworthy. And importantly, surprising enough to be highlighted like that.
All right, so let's wrap up this deep dive. The core piece of info, the nugget from this Global News report, June 3rd, 2025, Blake Lively dropped her claims of infliction of emotional distress against Justin Baldoni. And the source specifically flagged this as a surprising development.
That's the essence of it, yeah. Distilled from this particular source.
So thinking about that, the report focusing on a surprising decision, specifically dropping claims about emotional distress, and it involves these very public figures. What might that suggest to you about, how these kinds of private legal issues are seen, how they play out once they hit the public stage?
Well, it really underscores how, for people in the public eye, even resolving or changing course on really personal legal things like claims about emotional distress can become big news items.
Yeah.
This source called it surprising, specifically. It sort of suggests that maybe the public narrative or what people expect to happen in these disputes can really shape how the outcomes get reported. It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About the unique pressures, the different considerations involved when you're dealing with intensely personal legal actions, but doing it all under that bright media spotlight.